this story.
I'm Janey.
I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other some stories.
And also you're here.
Wow.
And that's Janey.
And that's Max.
Hi.
And you are you.
Hello, Sarah and only Sarah.
Sarah, you owe me $5.
I assume that everyone who listens to this podcast is named Sarah, I guess.
Except for that one guy named Todd.
Fucking Todd. Hey, Todd. Get out of here.
You owe me $5. Let's go down the line. Michael. You owe me $5.
Venmo us at Sort of the Story.
Sort of the Story doesn't have a bank account. Don't Venmo that. We'll go to somebody. Actually, you know what? Today, why don't you just pick a Venmo and send $5?
Yeah.
Oh, how cute. Or bad?
Don't do that.
I think you should do it. Pick a Venmo, send $5.
Anyways, we're here to tell you guys some stories.
And the caption can be for crimes.
Oh no, Janey. You're gonna get so many people arrested.
We got a lot of emails last week about our Arthurian legends.
Mm-hmm.
I've had, a bunch of people email me to tell me what movie I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different. 2 people were like, it's the Mists of Avalon. But everyone else was like, it's Beowulf. Or actually, it's this, indie film starring Ryan Gosling and he fucks in a cave. And another person's like, you're thinking of Batman. No, I'm not. I know for a fact it's not that one. I also had a person email us, Shy. She emailed us and said, what is the episode where the girl goes on an adventure, her nanny's bad, and she comes back safely home? And I was like, how come I've never thought about emailing the podcast directly, podcasts I'm listening to directly, to ask them about the episode numbers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's perfect. That's a perfect way to use our email. It's episode 42. It's Bela Lugosi's Glorious Adventure. And if you want to be bummed out by the same story, go to episode 14. Where did Princess Cottongrass go? Anyway. Yep. That's another way you can use our email.
Yeah. So email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. You can also hang out with us on socials. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, TikTok, and...
we have a Discord, and the Discord has been really fun lately.
Yes.
We're just, chatting. Maybe we'll have a feature in there. I'm going to steal this directly from the podcast Let's Go to Court, which is currently my favorite podcast to listen to. They're so fun. I think it's because they kind of remind me of us, but, more unhinged.
Hang on a minute.
No, they are more unhinged.
I don't believe you.
Anyway, the whole premise is that one of them has 1 semester of law school and one of them has 1 semester of criminal justice, and then they go, 2 experts, and then they tell you court cases. It's really fun.
That's kind of what we do here.
It is.
It's
we have no qualifications at all, except for Max.
For a semester, I had a triple concentration under my English major in writing and rhetoric, which is what I graduated with, and then also linguistics and folklore. And then I ended up dropping linguistics and folklore because they didn't offer the classes that I needed to graduate in 4 years. But I still did 2 classes for each of them, so I'm so qualified you would not believe.
And I think my qualification is that my grandmother is Filipino. She's from Antipolo.
Sort of the story bingo. I've decided I'm going to make a Sort of the Story bingo card. So I'm going to
Just one?
Yeah, just one. So I'm going to be building that in the Discord with the people on the Discord. So if you want to be a part of making Sort of the Story bingo a thing, come join us on Discord.
That is so
Link
fun.
in our link tree.
Oh, but the reason why I brought up Let's Go to Court is because they do a thing at the very end of their episodes where they answer questions from the Discord. And, you can ask them anything and they answer them. So if you want, maybe we'll put up a little channel for asking them questions. And it's always, really fun and kind of nice. Also, everybody on their Discord changed their names to random shit they've said in the podcast out of context, and it's hilarious.
One time I went to a party and I had just gotten one of the little impression label makers where you they're
Yes.
90s, you stick them on and they're they have the letters stamped into them and everything. And I just walked around this party with a handheld label maker, listening to people's conversations and then making labels of a random phrase that they had said and sticking it to them.
Yes.
Which felt like a weird performance art piece, but everyone was really excited.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
Yeah.
Also, if you are somebody a huge introvert with a lot of anxiety, but you still want to be part of the group, that's a really good way to do that.
Yeah.
Just listen and then stamp and move on.
Yep.
No contribution.
I had one person who, they were in a conversation, they were talking about someone, and they were and she's all ooh, like, I have sparkles coming out of my ass. And I just printed a label that said, I have sparkles coming out of my ass. And I caught up with them like 2 years ago, and they were like, by the way, I still have that sticker. I like put it on my mirror.
Yeah, that's really good motivational speech.
Yeah. I have actually a label maker label on top of my mirror that says how I want to feel every time I look in the mirror, which just says like asterisk, kissing own fingers like a satisfied Italian chef. That's how I want to feel when I look in the mirror, just like, mwah.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
Oh, what an affirmation.
Right?
This is very inspirational.
Yeah, so get
You're
a label
welcome,
maker.
guys. Get a label maker. I have a note in my phone from a random improv show I went to years and years and years ago where Morgan Smalley, as you know, did a shoot. I don't remember any context at all, but for some reason, I wrote this down, and I do think about it all the time, even outside of the fact that I wrote it down. I just know it's in there, and it's just a quote from her out of context that says, "Birds, take me and Rodney to the sky." And I think about that way too much. Like, it's a formative memory for no reason. But I just think birds take me and Rodney to the sky is one of the funniest things anyone ever said.
That's one of those, like those unique sentences that have never been said before in
No
human
one's
history.
ever said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super weird.
Love it.
Do you think we've said a lot of things on this podcast that nobody's ever said before in human history?
Most of the episode titles are things that people have never said before.
Oh, that's
in human history.
true. Never mind. And speaking of,
let's tell you guys another story besides all the stories that we just told you.
This is not for kids, because I'm definitely probably going to curse a lot.
My story is very scary, and also we always swear a lot.
I am so tired of you scaring the shit out of me on this podcast. The last couple episodes have been rough for Janey.
Well, this episode should come out around Halloween, we think. So after this, I'll lay off a little bit.
Cool. Well, I'm going first. How fun. Let's get started.
Let's do it. Woo!
Okay, Max.
Okay, boogers. Janey's stuffed up.
Dare you call me boogers? That's a sort of nickname that sticks.
Like a booger.
Okay.
This is the podcast where we're both in 4th grade.
Can confirm. That's hilarious. I've been stuffed up for years, and I was just telling Max, after being sick with COVID and strep and then possibly everything else this petri dish I work at gives me, I'm so tired of being stuffed up. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted from being stuffed up. Having a bad week. Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Max.
So Janey.
I was like, this week, maybe I will tell you the story of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which is a very famous story. I think I might save it for like a bigger episode. But since I went there, I went to Project Gutenberg because Project Gutenberg is amazing. Genuinely, he's not acting anymore, but Steve Gutenberg is doing a really good job of getting stories
Jesus
out to
Christ.
the people.
Once again, Project Gutenberg is not related to Steve Gutenberg.
And he was so
It is related
good
to the Gutenberg
in the
printing press.
Olsen twins movie It Takes Two with him and Kirstie Alley, who have chemistry off the charts. Anyway, but on his downtime now, he puts together free sources.
As an insufferable know-it-all, this is my least favorite bit that you do.
And because it's your least favorite, it's my most favorite. And we are now stuck in this endless game of cat and mouse that is called Our Friendship. So I was like, show me the original source. And then it went bing, bang, boom. Here you go. But it also had a bunch of stories underneath it. And I was like, let's look at those and then save East of the Sun, West of the Moon. And I found the story of Prince Lindworm.
I think I might know this story.
You might. And I'm very excited to tell it to you.
Is it a Hans Christian Andersen?
I didn't see it, no. It's
okay.
not.
Interesting.
I would not be surprised if he did his own version of this, though.
Yeah.
But it's called Prince Lindworm, and I'm just going to get into it. Okay. It's a Danish story. Once upon a time, there was a king and a king.
The king and the king.
Yay, king! Yay, king!
It's the 21st century. You can have 2 kings.
Finally!
Yes, kings.
Yes, kings. Well, actually, this next one would make sense a lot. They couldn't have a child. Okay, I'm going to go back. Once upon a time, there was a king and a queen. Not as cool, not as fun.
Boring.
Be gay, do crimes. This king and queen had everything they could have ever possibly wanted, except one thing. A Nintendo Switch. The year was 2020. And it was sold out everywhere.
The year, as we're recording this, is 2022, and it is still sold out everywhere.
I'm just kidding. It was a baby. So, I know you were confused by that.
Okay, they wanted a baby.
Yeah.
For their Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, their Nintendo Switch needed a baby.
They were like, we want to play this Nintendo Switch, but our hands are too big. Did you know that every Nintendo product is designed, like the product itself is designed to be held by children?
No.
It's like designed for small hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's a fun fact about Nintendo.
Or, what's it called? Discriminatory.
Well, I mean, it's not that adults can't hold it. It's just that, they didn't want buttons that kids couldn't reach, basically. Like some, like the PS4 and stuff like that, the buttons are really hard for kids to reach. Like you can't hit the triggers and everything like that. But the Game Boy was specifically designed with kids in mind, and every subsequent Nintendo product was also designed with that in mind.
Adorable. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a quote. This often made them both sad, because the queen wanted a dear little child to play with, and the king wanted an heir to the kingdom. And I'm like, all right, so he just doesn't love his kid as much. Mm-hmm. Say more.
His kid that he doesn't have yet.
Yeah. One day, the queen went walking out by herself, and she meets a, quote, ugly old woman.
Rude.
Yeah. The woman looked like a witch, but like she was a nice witch. Not a mean witch, but she looked like an ugly witch. She was ugly. Mm-hmm. The queen thinks about this constantly. She can't stop thinking about it. She's a little insulted that an ugly witch just came up to her no matter how nice she is. She's like, how'd you get in here? She asked the queen, quote, why do you look so doleful, pretty lady? And the queen responded, it's no use my telling you. Nobody in the world can help me. And she's like, haha, try me. I'm a witch.
Why do you look so doleful, pretty lady, is something that I have said to our cats.
Yes, 100%.
100%.
So the queen's like, no matter how much me and my husband bang, we're fucking real good. We can't have a baby, and it's starting to make me sad. Also, I'm so tired. And so the old woman gives her a to-do list. She's like, don't worry about it.
Number 1, your husband.
Number 2, your husband again. She's like, who sent you? Okay, so here's her to-do list, according to the old lady. At sunset, take a drinking cup with 2 handles and put it upwards on the ground in the northwest corner of the garden. Now, the story says put it upwards on the ground. That makes me think just set it on the ground normally. Mm-hmm. I think they mean put it upside down on the ground. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you why. Lift it up tomorrow at sunrise, and you'll find 2 roses underneath it. 1 red and 1 white. This is why I think you put it upside down.
Yeah.
If you eat the red rose, you'll give birth to a little boy. If you eat the white rose, you'll give birth to a little girl. It's nice, right? Mm-hmm. Warning! Danger! Don't eat both roses. Don't do it.
That was literally my first thought.
You'll be so
like, what
sorry.
happens if you eat both?
Do not do it.
You will have a non-binary child.
Nope.
And you are contractually obligated to name them Moss.
Oh, nice. The witch is like, don't do that. Only bad things will happen. This is magic. I'm magic. This is a curse. You'll be cursed. Don't eat both roses. You'll regret it so much if you eat both roses, so don't eat both roses. Do you promise? Look me in the eyes, you stupid queen. And then she shakes her a bit. And she's like, don't eat both. Say it out loud. And she's like, don't eat both. She's like, don't eat both what? And she's like, don't eat both roses. And she's like, yes. So what are you not going to do? And she's like, eat both roses. And she's like, good. Okay. Go. And she's like, all right. And so the queen goes with this very clear, explicit, words were minced, this warning, this danger. I'm giving you this, do not do it. And she's like, you got it, boss.
My oppositional defiant ass could never.
So the queen goes and she does everything the old woman tells her to do. And the next morning, sure enough, there are 2 beautiful roses. And she gobbles them both up immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, so the queen is confused.
She's just like me.
I'm kidding. The queen is confused, though. It's not like immediate. She's looking at them and she's like, I'm so confused. Did the old woman say to eat 1 rose or both of the roses? I remember
her saying both roses a lot, but I don't remember whether she said do or don't.
Remembering things is so tricky. I've never been asked to do this before. It's not my fault. So the queen is debating which one to eat. She's like, if I eat the red rose, I'll have a son and he'll be an heir to the kingdom and he'll look like my husband and I'm so excited for that. But he's going to grow up and probably go to war and maybe die in battle. And I have severe PTSD that the story doesn't want to talk about. So I don't know if I want my son to be killed in battle. That's really hard.
Hot take.
Yeah. And then she's like, if I eat the white rose, I'll have a beautiful little girl who would stay home with me and my husband for a long time. And she'll be like the apple of my eye. But then later on, she'll have to get married and then go away and leave me. And I'm like, And she has PTSD that the story doesn't want to talk about because she was ripped away from her family, obviously too young, and never sees her parents. And that's why this is a huge thing. So, quote, whichever it is, we may be left with no child after all. She needs therapy. This is a very anxious way to think about children.
Mm-hmm.
So after agonizing over this, the queen eats the white rose. She's decided, little girl. And it was so sweet.
Oh, no.
That she eats the red rose, too. Woo! And she's like, that rule probably wasn't important anyway. It's probably fine. I can't even remember what she said. Remembering things is so hard. Okay. So sometime after this, the king went away to do war and shit. And while he was away, the queen gave birth to twins. Hurrah!
Hurrah, indeed.
One of them was a beautiful baby boy that was perfect in every way. Hooray! The other one was a Lindworm, and it, like, slithered away before anyone saw it. So it's fine. It's fine. Stop focusing on the negative. Start focusing on the positive. They had a son. Woohoo! And he was perfect.
What the fuck is a Lindworm?
A Lindworm, Max. A Lindworm. Don't even worry about him, though. He's gone.
Wait, and it's a boy?
Who knows? Don't worry about it. It's a Lindworm.
God.
That's the other gender.
Boys, girls, and worms.
Yeah, a Lindworm is a big ol' snake.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, like, is it a worm with a Y?
No, not all the time, but it's a mythical creature. A big ol' snake.
Like a dragon without any legs?
Yeah, sometimes it has legs.
God, okay.
Anyway, she had a son! Woo! Okay.
And a worm.
Many years. Nope, no, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. He's gone. Many years passed, and the beautiful, perfect only child of the king and queen grew up into a handsome young prince. And it's time that he got married. I almost said late. I didn't even write that down here. It was time that he got married. So the king sent him off to visit foreign kingdoms in the royal coach to go wife shopping. However, as soon as this handsome, strapping young only child of the king and queen reaches the first crossroads, a giant stinky Lindworm slithers into the road and then lays down and screams, "A bride for me before a bride for you!" And he, like, does a 3-point turn with all his horses and then just rides away. Doesn't interact with the worm at all. He's like, ew.
I would prefer if he got out, picked up the Lindworm, put it on the side of the road like a fallen log, and then kept going.
Nope. And so he goes to he, like, decides to go to a different kingdom. He's like, I guess I'll go left. So he just goes to a different kingdom.
This kingdom's full of worms.
Yeah, gross. Selfish ones, too. So he goes, but the second he reaches the first crossroads, that giant Lindworm is in the road again. And he's like, "A bride for me before a bride for you." And he screamed out his annoying catchphrase like he was a long-lost uncle on Full House. Have mercy. Am I right? Okay. So eventually, after doing this like 3 or 4 times, the prince just sighs and then goes back home. And he tells his mom, he's like, "This weird Lindworm was just out there screaming that he needed to get married before me." This is up there on the weirdest things that's ever happened to me, am I right? And she's like, oh, remembering things is so hard, but you do have a brother.
And he's a big stinky worm.
He's a big stinky Lindworm.
I appreciate that. I feel like as a very non-violent and I hope like empathetic, sympathetic person, after like the 3rd time, it would occur to me to just run the carriage over this Lindworm.
I think he's really, really big.
So?
Okay. So he tells his mom about the Lindworm, and she's like, "You have an older twin brother who is a Lindworm. A Lindworm." He's a Lindworm. And I guess since he's like 1 minute older, he does technically have a right to be married before you. But, like, who could have predicted this would cause so much trouble? We rich, beautiful royals can never seem to catch a break. Why do bad things happen to good people? Oh, no. I wish somebody had told me.
What a terrifying experience in labor where you are giving birth to a baby and then a big old worm comes out.
Could have been a little worm. She's the only one that sees it, too. Like, no one else sees it.
What? And then after that, a baby boy. Like, can you imagine being like, here comes a baby, and then just like a worm, and you're like,
Ew.
ah!
Ew.
And there's like still a baby.
I wonder
Pretty
if
scary.
she was so skinny. Okay.
You think it's a tapeworm?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So,
we cannot talk about that. I will throw up.
All right. So, upon being told what had happened, the king is like, fuck, okay, so if he needs to get married before our son, let's do it, I guess. And so he writes to a super distant country, and he's like, hey, you got any princesses who want to marry my son? He's a prince. And he doesn't tell them which son, because everyone's like, he only has the one. So like, sure. They don't know that she gave birth to a baby and a Lindworm. So the king makes a stipulation. He's like, we're going to do like this cute little Love is Blind scenario. It doesn't exist yet, but it's going to be a huge show one day. So what we're going to do is she can't see my son, who is a prince, technically, until she has said, I do. And then they'll lift the veil and they're married forever. Cool. And they're like, I guess. Because again, you only have the one son. Why are you being so secretive about this? And so they did that. He got married. And she removed her veil and was horrified to see herself standing in front of a giant stinky Lindworm.
He also removed his veil and she was like, a worm.
Oh God.
Is this the front or the back?
Ew. And so she's trapped. And eventually they retire to their bedchamber to have their cursed wedding night.
Ew.
But the next morning, when the attendants go to check on the newlyweds...
Newlyweds.
I'm having a hard time. The next morning, when the attendants go to check on the newlyweds, only the Lindworm lay sleeping in the bed.
He ate her!
The princess was nowhere to be found, and it was very clear by the giant princess-shaped lump in the Lindworm's belly that she had just come back home. No big deal, don't worry about it. Stop asking. So a little while later, the younger prince is like, okay, he got married. It's not my fault he ate his bride. I mean, she went back home. She left that letter in definitely her own handwriting that said, I go home now. See you later.
It's got a bunch of worm goo on it. Probably normal.
It's fine. So he sets out again. He's like, I'm going to go find my wife. But he reaches the first crossroads and he sees his now slightly fatter Lindworm brother laying in the road going, a bride for me before a bride for you. And he's like, you already did that. You had one bride. Come on. And so he goes again to a different one, and it's the same thing, right? A bride for me before a bride for you. And he's like, oh, brother. So the king...
And the Lindworm is like, yes.
So the king writes to several more foreign countries, asking them to send a bride for his son to marry, and they do the whole thing over again. So she was blindfolded, led up the aisle, she said, I do, and then saw that she'd accidentally married a giant old Lindworm. And then the next morning, she also went to live on a farm upstate or something. It's fine. And the Lindworm was sleeping all alone in his bed. And so the younger prince, he goes out again, because he doesn't fucking learn. And his brother worm is yet again lying in the road going, a bride for me before a bride for you. And so the prince goes to his dad, and he's like, I'm pissed. You need to fucking fix this. I need to get laid so bad, dude. My blue balls are killing me. And the prince is like, the king is like, that's a really real thing. I know somebody who almost died from that. I thankfully have never felt that, but like, it can kill you. I've heard. Friend of a friend died. So, the king.
Sorry, they're summoning all of these women from other, like, kingdoms to come and marry this worm. Why not just have the human prince stay in his castle and then have a princess come for him? Like, he doesn't have to go anywhere, and then the Lindworm can't stop him.
Yeah, also, why not just, like, lock it in a room somewhere?
Yeah.
It's really weird. So, the king, he had already exhausted his connections, and now not only did everyone know that his eligible son is actually just a big old worm, but he also is at war with 2 foreign countries because you're not allowed to just murder women.
I also like that his the extent of his connections is 2 people.
Well, like, word traveled real fast what this was. Okay, so he goes to his own people, and he finds a poor shepherd, and he goes up to him and is like, hi, you're poor and can easily be exploited. Can I have your daughter to marry my son? And the shepherd's like, we all know what this is, my lord. We all get it.
Me lord.
Me lord. And he's also like, this is my only daughter, and I need her to take care of me when I'm old. And I'm like, also, you love her. Say it out loud. And also, she doesn't have to be forced married to a big old snake worm. And so he says no. He's like, absolutely not. So when his first call to like be patriotic doesn't work, he then is like, what if I make you super rich for the rest of your days? All you have to do is give me your daughter to marry to my Lindworm son. And the shepherd's like, no. Still no. Also, maybe now more no. This is shady as hell, dude. So when this doesn't work, the king's like, cool. Well, I'm the king and you're gonna fucking give me your daughter. So I'm gonna come back for her or I'm gonna burn your fucking farm to the ground. And then he leaves. And the shepherd's like, why me? There's so many other families in this place. Come on. So, like, go to another like, honestly, this is shady as shit. It is exploitation. But, like, you stop at this one. Is he the only guy that has, like, an eligible daughter?
He's the only guy in the kingdom.
Like, somebody else would have accepted the money.
Yeah, but he has a kingdom of one person.
Yeah.
It's the king, his wife,
that shepherd.
their 2 sons, one of whom is a worm, the shepherd, and the shepherd's daughter.
And that old witch.
And that old witch.
Yeah, I forgot about her. Okay.
And then all the horses that drive the carriage. And that's it. It's a very small kingdom.
Yeah, that's it. That's
kind of
the
just
whole
a
thing.
house.
So, I wrote, I fucking hate men in power. Your son will just never get his dick wet inside of wedlock. You'll be fine. He just won't get married. He can still have sex with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Unless the Lindworm is, like, in his bed, too. Like, no, ride for me before I ride for you! It's just really stupid. Like, they would rather
stupid.
murder a woman than, like, have their son... Marriage doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, eligibility, why, like, in terms of, like,
An heir?
the throne, but also...
Doesn't even matter.
The oldest son is the Lindworm, so... He's set to inherit the throne, I feel like, regardless of who gets married first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So...
This is stupid.
Sure seems like she shouldn't have eaten that rose, in retrospect.
Okay, but how would she have known not to eat both roses, Max? You need to
That's a really
be
good
fair
point.
to her. Nobody told her. Anyway, so the shepherd goes to his daughter and is like, I'm really sorry. I tried really hard. And he tells her, like, you have to marry this Lindworm. And she runs out of the house and into the forest in despair. And she's just tearing out her hair and screaming and crying and, like, just feels like she's going crazy. And then she hears a voice. And the voice says, why do you look so doleful, pretty lass? And she looks up and she sees an old witch woman walking out of a big hollow oak tree. Casual. Normal way.
I also live here.
Yeah. And also I am here. Wow. So the girl sniffles and tells her, it's no use my telling you, for nobody in the world can help me. And the old woman smiles and tells her, like, tell me anyway. And so the girl explains everything that's going to happen. And she says, like, I'm definitely going to get eaten on my wedding night, and I'm, like, quite distressed about it. And the old woman gives her a to-do list for her wedding night. She's like, don't worry, here's what you do. Also, I came out of a tree, so just listen to me. I don't need to give you my credentials.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. D-W-I. A-I.
Dwy.
Okay, so she says, after the marriage ceremony was over, dress in 10 snow-white shifts. Also, get a tub full of lye, a tub full of fresh milk, and as many whips as a boy can carry in his arms. These were all to be put into the bedroom. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a fun
Oh, baby.
Woo-woo.
You're gonna sex that Lindworm up real good.
He's gonna have to peel off all the layers like it's an onion.
He loves this.
It's Shrek roleplay.
Oh my god. Okay, so when the Lindworm, she says, the Lindworm is going to command you to take off your shift, which is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, tell him to slough a skin first. When all of his skins are sloughed off, she was to dip the whips in lye and then whip him a bunch. And then next, she was to wash him in the fresh milk. And finally, she was to hold him in her arms. And she's, like, very specifically only horrified by that last bit. She says, quote, ugh, the last one is the worst notion.
In fairness, you're talking about a man who has been flayed and then
Whipped?
whipped with lye and then dipped in milk.
I write that specifically. Now you want me to hold him like a baby?
He's
Ugh.
covered in
And also,
soap and
I'm
milk.
naked. Anyway, so the old woman tells her, like, suck it up. And then she walks back into the oak tree and slams the door. So the young girl does as she's told. The ladies and the courtiers make fun of her for asking for all these weird things to be put up in the bedchamber. But then they're also like, I mean, we should just do it, right? Like, she's gonna die. Maybe those are, like, her comfort whips and tubs full of lye. We don't know. Maybe she has a legal claim to these. So she and the Lindworm get married. They had a great wedding banquet. It was his third one, right?
Mhm.
He's real fat at this point. He's just been eating feasts and eating girls. And then they go back to their bedchamber, and they're followed by music and torches and a great procession. Like, they're still acting like this is a giant celebration wedding, which is also a dick move.
Mhm.
And as soon as the door is closed, as soon as it's closed, the Lindworm turns to her and says, "Fair maiden, shed a shift." Like, get fucking naked, which is horrifying. They skip over that like it's a normal thing, but it's like as soon as the door is closed, he's like, "Take off your clothes." Yeah, this is not talked about in the story. That's the worst part of the story for me. Like, it's jarring.
Horrifying.
And so she responds with, "Prince Lindworm, slough a skin." And he's taken aback, and he says, quote, "No one has ever dared tell me to do that before." And she responds with, "But I command you to do it now. So get to sloughing." And so he does it. He groans and he moans, and then he like throws a skin down on the floor. And so she peels off her little first Snow White shift, and she puts it gently on top of the skin. And she's like, "There we go." And he's like, "Ah, a drink." And so he tells her again, "Fair maiden, shed a shift." And she's like, "Prince Lindworm, slough a skin." And he's like, "No one's ever told me to do that before." She goes, "Except for me, before right now, and now as well."
Moments ago.
I just did. Remembering these is hard, but do it.
It's genetic.
Aww. This is just the story of Dory from Finding Nemo. Okay, so they do this 10 times. And finally, he is just a huge, wet, gelatinous mass piled up before her. Just like viscous goo.
And there's a pile of stinky old skins.
Yes, and dresses. And so she grabs the whips, she dips them in the lye, and then she whips him as hard as she possibly could for a long fucking time. She then bathes him all over in the fresh milk. My autocorrect changed it to the freak milk.
I mean, it's not freak milk.
Yep. And then she drags him to the bed and puts her arms around him. And I write, "Now he's gooey, skinless, bloody, and covered in milk." And I'm sure he smelled great, and she's naked because she took off all her dresses. And so she falls fast asleep, still holding him. She's exhausted. She's had a big day. Leave her alone.
Also, why did she need a bunch of whips? You can only hold like 2 whips at a time.
I think she put them all... They said as many whips as a boy can carry on his arm. I'm thinking of like a flogging thing, you know, how it's like cat of nine tails and stuff like that.
Maybe?
It's really weird. It is weird. She's just like, whip, and then throws it away, and then whip, and then throws it. Disposable whips.
They are not single use.
Single use whips. They're licorice. She dipped those in the freak milk too. So
stinky worm, licorice, milk, and lye.
And blood. The next morning, the king and his courtiers come, and they peep through the keyhole, because they wanted to see what happened to the girl, but they're all really terrified to see what happened to the girl, and so it takes them a while to work up courage, but they finally open the door, and they're surprised to see the princess alive, naked and covered in bloody milk, but alive! And there's no Lindworm to be found. Instead, she was lying with the most handsome prince anyone had ever seen. He was 1,000 times hotter than his brother, and his skin was dewy and glowing. And they're all like, "What's your routine?" And he's like, "Well..."
Peel off all your skin, then dip yourself in lye, and then in milk.
And then he founds his own company called Goop.
Oof.
Hot damn, everyone had boners. Nice work. Witch in the woods. Everyone's so turned on by this. So the king and the queen, they rejoice. They hold a second wedding for the two. It says, quote, "No bride was ever so beloved by a king and queen as this peasant maid from the shepherd's cottage." Because she had saved their son, Prince Lindworm.
Who's still an asshole, and it doesn't say anything about him being nice to her or being any better.
He doesn't need to, but he's hot now, so shush. And then it says the end, but I assume the actual ending is that they were all brutally killed by the 2 dead foreign princesses' kingdoms.
Oh, for sure.
100%. And that's the end of Prince Lindworm.
Yuck.
Okay, so just quick notes. A lindworm, as I've told you, is a mythical creature from Northern and Central European folklore. It generally lives deep in the forest and has the shape of a giant serpent monster, and it can be seen as a type of dragon. So I have a little illustration for you.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a big old snake with like a dog face.
Yeah, like a dragon face.
Yeah.
And then she is very daintily putting one of her shifts down on top of his skin. I love this illustration.
Is this a, Alphonse Mucha?
I looked for the artist and I couldn't find it. But I'll still include it in the thing and maybe somebody else can
Yeah.
This is a Danish fairy tale. It's published in the 19th century by Danish folklorist Svend Grundtvig. It probably originated from India. I couldn't find the original Indian source. I did look. It spread throughout Europe in the 17th century, and it's ATU type 433b, the Prince as Serpent. I would like to say...
The Stinky Milk Prince.
The Stinky Milk Prince! I would like to say this... I think that this fits in with the same archetype as Hans the Hedgehog. Like, it's very, like, serpent and hedgehog, like, specific, but they're both, like, monsters, princes in monsters' bodies with girls who have to save them, kind of.
Yeah. They have to, like, shuck them.
Yeah. Like corn. Yeah, and that's the story.
The old shuck and fuck.
Shuck and fuck is horrifying. That's like a Buffalo Bill shit there. I don't like it.
Wow, what a stinky story.
What a stinky story. Speaking of Buffalo Bill shit, do you have any thoughts on everybody being obsessed with the Dahmer documentary? Or documentary is it a documentary?
It's a movie, I think.
It's a movie? Reenact?
Or a TV show?
It's a TV show. Any thoughts on that?
No. I think that we should stop talking about serial killers so much. I think that maybe stop immortalizing them in story.
I would say not talking about serial killers, but profiting off of especially still living victims. They didn't consult the families at all. They used their word-for-word court testimony about what it felt like to lose their family members and reenacted them. Without telling them that they were doing that, and they didn't donate any of the money even to the victims' families or foundations in their name or anything like that. They all just made so much money off of this.
Yeah. I also feel like the fictionalization, like, what is it? Extremely horrible and incredibly vile or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That one and Dahmer and stuff like that. Like, the fictionalization, I think, gives it a narrative structure that makes it seem much more... I don't want to say poetic, but it makes it seem like it's something that, like, built over time and, like, you know, if you were paying attention, you could see it coming. And that is fundamentally not the case.
Well, did you did you watch the Ted Bundy one with Zac Efron?
Yeah.
I loved the way they did that one. That was the one thing where I was like, oh, shit. Because it wasn't about the victims, which I think is important. Well, no, it's not that. It's not that it shouldn't be about them, but it wasn't, like, exploiting people dying. Yeah. You know, but also it was about specifically the girlfriend. Like, this is based off of her book she wrote about being with Ted Bundy and about how she couldn't see what was going on and it's like that. And I like that she gets to tell her side. You get to see how manipulative this man was and how it's not like you couldn't have predicted this happening. I thought it was done really well.
I just feel like the way that we talk about serial killers and the way that we've kind of created this pantheon of serial killers.
Sexy serial killers.
Yeah, casting. Especially the sexy serial killers thing. But also, like, just in general, how we have this like, group of names that come up and everything like that. And they are sort of, like, immortalized and to a certain degree idolized as, like, in a negative light, but in a way that makes them more appealing and alluring.
Not always
and I think
in a negative light. I mean, look.
Yeah.
A Greyface fucking makes most of their money off of being like, we have original John Wayne Gacy's. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. No, you don't. Nobody has an original John Wayne Gacy.
And also, why would you
want that?
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of times it makes them into, like, almost like heroes of stories.
Folk heroes.
Yeah, where, I think that it encourages. It's something that I watched all of Criminal Minds, and one of the things that they talk about is that, like, why we don't name serial killers anymore. And it's because when you give them a name, it gives them, like, an identity and a character to live up to, and it makes them feel like they're, like, larger than life, kind of.
On the opposite spectrum of that, though, the only reason why we had renewed interest in the Golden State Killer was because Michelle McNamara renamed him because he had so many names. Like, she gave him, like, a central purpose for people to focus on, and we caught him fairly quickly after she wrote her book.
Yeah, it's a tool, but it's also, like, I saw a joke somewhere where it's like, we should just start naming serial killers things like the stinky butt murderer and just make them really embarrassed
there
to
is
be
a
who
stinky
they are.
Murderer. They do have some pretty horrible names out there for certain ones.
Yeah.
There's the stinky
It's just like,
killer.
we should stop making them seem cool and sexy. We should,
Yeah. Like, hey, we're going after the racist homophobe. If you can find him. We're going after the bedwetting murderer. If you can just, he wets the bed and just go get him.
We're going after, it's SFS is the new serial killer. Yeah. It's shart, fart, stab killer. Because everywhere he goes, he sharts and then farts again into the shart and then stabs people. And that's how we identify him.
Okay. Oh, God. One of the best serial killer names that wasn't meant to be like an insult, I don't think. I mean, that's a weird way to put it, but I don't think it was meant to be an insult. I think they were like, this is going to be sinister. They called him the Doodler. And they're like, he likes to draw his victims before he kills them. And it's like, you couldn't have called him anything else other than the Doodler?
That's a minor character from Lazy Town, guaranteed.
Nobody wants to say that out loud ever because it's embarrassing to say out loud.
Like a police phone call where it's like, help, help, I'm being murdered by the Doodler.
The Doodler, he's here! In my noodle bar! He's holding a poodle in my noodle bar. It's the Doodler! Okay, just wanted to get your take on that. Lauren, our very good friend Lauren, at Lauren Boyle on Instagram, her art is beautiful if you want to see. She teaches middle school art, and she told us last night that one of her students was talking about how, like, I wonder if we're going to get a second season of The Dahmer Show, because he didn't know that it was real, and she had to be like, there's no second season because that really happened. And all of her middle schoolers were like, that was a true story. Like, they didn't know. They think they're watching an American Horror Story style Evan Peters. Like, yeah. They're all obsessed with him. They're drawing pictures of him because they don't understand that that's real life. Mm-hmm. That's horrifying. Make that more clear.
Yeah.
Also, donate money to their families. I don't think any of them should keep any of that. The fact that they just did this, I don't think any of them should keep that money.
No, absolutely not.
The fact that now it's come out that, like, oh, this is actually just profiting. How can you keep that money? Wouldn't it feel dirty?
Yes.
Anyway, are we ready to get to your story?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, booger. So I have a story for you today. And as I said earlier, I have Halloween on the mind.
Okay.
And I found what I posit is the perfect Halloween story. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why later. But right now, I'm going to tell you the story.
Okay.
This story, I found it, like I said, I wanted to do a spooky story for today. And I have the collection of S.E. Schlosser's 50 spine-chilling ghost stories. It's a, like, playing card deck. So each story is, like, one large card front and back. And they're all very good. Yeah, I love that this is one of my favorite things that I own as far as, like, art books and resources and stuff like that is S.E. Schlosser's Ghost Stories deck. So I found this story originally there. The story is called The Hermit's House There. But while I was researching, I also found another version, which is collated from a couple of different sources, and that's available online. I have the link to that in the description. But also don't look at that right now because it's a spoiler.
Guys, put away your phones. You're listening to a podcast. Also,
get out of here.
You're driving? Stop that.
So this is from the Ghost Stories deck. You can also find the story in S.E. Schlosser's Spooky New York book. She has a whole series of books that are like Spooky Oregon, Spooky Yellowstone,
cute,
Spooky Virginia, and they're all great. The story is here. She says that it is an Iroquois story. I found some sources that say that it's like specifically Seneca Iroquois, and some sources that say that it comes actually from Wabanaki tradition.
Another name for the Iroquois, I believe, is the Haudenosaunee, which is what they call themselves and welcome other people to call them as well.
Cool. Yes. So, the story. Mm-hmm. It is the dead of winter.
Okay.
Frost is cracking in the trees.
No! I can't do that. I can't be tricked again.
No, it's the dead of winter, and there is a woman and her husband, and they are traveling through the woods away from town, and different stories have different reasons for this. Either it's cold, and so they're bringing food out to people who live outside of their, like, main settlement, or they are, like, on their way home from somewhere else, and, you know, they have to stop for the night, basically. And in this area, there is a lodge that is known to be owned by, like, a friendly old man. In some cases, it's one of their relatives or something like that. And so it is very, very cold and it's starting to get dark and they realize they have to stop for the night. So they decide to stop in this house where this friendly old man is. And it's the woman, her husband, and then she has her baby on a cradle board on her back.
Mm-hmm.
A baby daughter. So they decide to stop at this house for the night, right? And they knock on the door and nobody answers. And they open the door. Have you heard this story?
I know the story. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm very exciting that you actually found it because
yes.
I'll tell you at the end. Go ahead.
So she knocks on the door, or they knock on the door and nobody answers. Mm-hmm. So they open the door and the house is cold. There are no lights on or anything like that. And they go in and they see the house is empty. It looks like it's been empty for a while, except that there is a loft. And in the loft, they find a bark box in which is a
squeaky toy.
Yeah.
Several treats.
A wooden box made of tree bark. Hey, Bark Box, sponsor us.
One really excited golden retriever.
And in this bark box is like a desiccated skeleton of an old man.
Sure.
So it seems like this old man who has been taking people in has kind of like, he knew that he was going to die. He built himself a coffin,
Indoor
basically.
coffin, sure.
And then laid down and died. He looks like he, again, is like desiccated, mostly just a skeleton, and is like laying as though asleep in this box. Mm-hmm. And they are, obviously, this is not great for them.
No.
They come into this house and they find that like the man who owns it is dead and a skeleton. But it's, you know, at this point it's the middle of the night and it's freezing out. So they kind of have to stay there for the night. So they build a fire in the hearth and the husband goes out and goes hunting for meat for dinner. And the wife goes out and she forages for berries and roots and things. And then they come back home and the husband is tired from hunting. So the wife starts to make dinner and she's roasting the meat and the berries and everything over the fire. And the husband goes up to the loft where there's a little like bed mat and he lays down to take a nap before dinner. Mm-hmm. Shortly thereafter, the smell of roasting meat is filling the house and everything. And she hears a weird like cracking crunching sound from the loft above. Mm-hmm. And she looks up and she sees blood pouring through the boards of the loft and down onto the ground near her.
Holy shit.
And she immediately like freezes. Mm-hmm. And then she very carefully and quietly looks up into the loft and she sees the place where her husband was sleeping. Mm-hmm. And hunched over him is this skeleton with glowing red eye sockets, and it is eating her husband. Mm-hmm. It is just like chewing on his neck and face. Ugh. And it has these glowing red eyes, and it has like blood all over its teeth and chin and everything like that. Yeah. And so this thing is just basically like munching on her husband, who is presumably at this point dead.
Hopefully. One would hope.
One would hope. And she still has her baby strapped to her back, and she says to herself, like, we have to get out of here.
Yeah,
for
I
obvious
don't want to
reasons.
stay here.
Shockingly, I don't want to be here with this skeleton eating my husband. So she gives the roasting meat on the fire like one last turn and she says, I'm going to go out and get some water for broth, so I'll be right back. And she just calls up to the loft.
Smart.
And then she grabs a bucket and she walks out of the house. Mm-hmm. And she walks very calmly until she gets to the tree line. Mm-hmm. And then she breaks into a run. And she runs away as fast as she can. And as she starts to run, she hears from behind her in the house an inhuman howling.
No!
And
his snacks!
This howling skeleton says, the woman has deceived me!
Oh, damn it. Blame her. Of course, the skeleton's an incel.
And she keeps running away through the forest as fast as she can with her baby on her back. And she drops the bucket and everything. And she hears crunching behind her as the skeleton is stomping and running after her and like cracking old branches and everything like that and crunching through the snow. And she hears this skeleton getting closer. And as he's running, he's going, hoo, hoo, hoo.
That's how I run too.
Yeah. He's probably really cold.
Yeah. Okay. Should have put on my skeleton socks.
So she's running and she hears this like hooting getting closer. And so she's wrapped up in a blanket and she takes off the blanket and she throws it over a branch so that it looks like a person. And then she keeps running. And she hears behind her that the skeleton sees this. And he's like, aha, now I've got you. And he tears into the blanket thinking that it's her.
Gave herself some time.
Yeah. And then, realizes it's a tree and he goes, the woman has deceived me.
Nothing's ever your fault, skeleton.
And so while he's, taking this break, she's running ahead and she's able to, gain some distance on him. But as she continues running for so long, she starts hearing this hooting getting closer and closer again. And this thing is gaining on her. So she takes off her
skin.
No, Jesus. She takes off her robe, and she throws it over a tree branch to make it look like a person again, and keeps running. And she hears when the skeleton gets to that point, and he goes, "Aha! Now I've got you!" And the skeleton like slashes with long claws into this robe, and then realizes that it's just a tree. And he's like, "I broke a nail! Shit! Fuck!" And he says, "The woman has deceived me." And she, meanwhile, has gained a little bit more distance ahead of him.
Skeleton. Skeleton. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I'm trying to think of incel puns.
So she keeps running and running and running. And finally, dawn begins to break. And she suddenly bursts out from the tree line. And she sees nearby her village, and she starts screaming, and she's running towards the village, and she's like, help, there's something chasing me, please help. And all the men in the village come out, and they all have their clubs, and they bring blankets, and they throw the blankets over her and warm her and the baby up. And then they like take their clubs and they sort of like stand at the edge of the village, and they see this skeleton come crashing through the trees, and it sees them at the tree line, and it stops at the tree line, and they see these two glowing red eyes, and then it waits, and it keeps waiting for a little while, and then sees that this woman is not coming back with the baby. And so the skeleton kind of recedes back into the forest. She relays what has happened to her chief. And the chief says that there's only one thing that could have happened, which is that the helpful old man was actually an evil wizard. And when he died, he became a vampire skeleton. Basically, which is what happens when you're an evil wizard and you die, you turn into a skeleton.
I mean, I know that.
Yeah. So he's like, we got to keep this thing away, but we're going to have to deal with this problem, right? So for today, everyone is going to dance to keep the skeleton away. We're going to dance all day long.
Dancing.
They hate dancing.
Everyone knows that.
They're all the mayor from the town in Footloose. And so they dance all day, and the skeleton stays away. Sometimes they see it creeping inside of the trees and watching them, but it doesn't come any closer. They dance all day, and then finally, at dusk, the men all gather up their weapons, and they go to this house in the woods.
I would go during the day.
I would too.
Right?
I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
They go to this house in the woods, and they find inside this bark box, and the skeleton is covered in blood, but is laying in there as though it is just a corpse, just as they saw it when they first went into the house.
Yeah.
And the chief, one of the versions of the story, I really like this, the way that they say it. The chief says very formally, "We have come to discuss with you the problem that evil is overcoming good in this world. We need to act to restore the proper balance." And then all of the men take rope and they bind this bark box shut. And then they stack firewood around it, and they all go outside and they light the place on fire.
Yeah, we just want to have a quick discussion. You son of a bitch.
I sentence you to burn. Rip. And so they light the house on fire, and they watch it as the house burns to the ground with the skeleton inside. And then at the last moment, as the beams of the house collapse, they see a giant owl escape from the burning ruin and fly away. In another version of the story, there is... the woman escapes and then comes back and burns the house herself.
Yeah,
and
she does.
A rabbit escapes. So this thing maybe gets away. It's unclear.
No, that's just the evil spirit. It won't come back as like a skeleton.
Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's just a bad omen.
And in that, in the same version, it says, "Forever after this, the Seneca refused to put the dead in boxes above the ground, but buried them in the earth to keep them from rising and bothering the living."
Yeah.
So... the reason why I was like, this is a perfect Halloween story is because...
of the obvious. Because of the obvious spooky, scary skeletons.
Yes, because of the obvious, but also because it is a story about a vampire witch skeleton ghost. Which is just all the things.
All of the things.
So I found this. S.E. Schlosser she has such a huge body of work that is collected. But I linked to, you can read this story, S.E. Schlosser's version online. You can also read the other version from another resource online, and I can't think of the guy's name. But those are both linked in the description. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a whole lot of other sources for this. There's a handwritten account of this story from the late 1800s that is scanned that I couldn't read because I'm bad at reading handwriting. But that's kind of where this story is, like, from, where we get this account, I think. But I was also like, this is so weird, because this also reminded me a lot of our stories of, like, Vasilisa and Baba Yaga and everything like that. And I was like, I wonder if this is, you know, a native folktale. So I did a little bit more research, and I was like, I'm not entirely sure. Like, a vampire skeleton doesn't sound like...
So this is why I read this first in I have a anthology of feminist folktales. It's called Strong Women, something like that. I can't remember the name. But I have this anthology of feminist folktales. I have multiples.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she put it in there, and I was really excited about it, because I was like, oh, an Iroquois story, like, they have a bunch of them. And I didn't choose it because it specifically only said vampire skeleton, and the woman is Australian. She's a white woman. And I was like, and when I looked it up, I couldn't find anything else. I typed in vampire skeleton, nothing came up. And I was like, I can't do any research on this, but vampire skeleton doesn't sound native.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So I'm excited to know more details about this, because I really wanted to tell it.
Yes. So I did some research, and I did the same thing where I was like, vampire skeleton, and they were like, here's this story. And I was like, okay, other stories about vampire skeletons. And they were like, there's a romance novel series about a vampire skeleton, maybe. And I was like, okay, well, that's not what I want.
That's what I want.
And I was like, I don't even think, like, I can't think of, like, I know stories about, like, skinwalkers and everything like that. Like, I've heard all of the sort of, like, pop culturized, native monsters, like skinwalkers and, like, the Wendigo and stuff like that. Like, that kind of thing. But I hadn't heard of it like a vampire thing. So I was like, I wonder if there's, like, a vampire equivalent that this would be. So I looked for Iroquois vampire. Mm-hmm. And what came up was an article that was written when the Twilight movie came out, which I have linked, and it was like, when you see Bella in the Twilight movie Googling, like, vampires, question mark? And they're like, okay, so how much of that is actually based in any kind of native story whatsoever?
I love that somebody took the time to analyze her Google search.
Yes, it's also, I really love it because the website, it seems like a really great resource, and I really liked reading their analysis of it and everything like that.
Yeah.
But it also is a website that looks like the websites she's Googling, where it's just like plain Times New Roman text on like a patterned repeating background. It's so good. A very 2003 website.
Maybe that's what our future website should look like.
Yeah. I trust those sources a lot. But they went through step by step. They were like, okay, so is this actually based in the traditions of, like, the native peoples of the Pacific Northwest and stuff like that? Is this anything? And basically the answer was no. But they did say there are several creatures across different tribes' folklores that have similarities to vampires. And so they went through and they listed all of them. They were like, here's this, and here's why it's like a vampire. And one of them I found is the Skadegamutces. A gabagool. The Skadegamutces is specifically a Wabanaki from New England and Canada and that area. It's a creature from their folklore, which is described as a ghost, witch, vampire, skeleton.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Where when an evil witch or wizard dies, they become a skeleton that eats people and drinks blood and does curses. The website specifically says that at night they come out and they eat people, but during the day they like appear as dead as a corpse, much like a vampire, which is kind of switched in this story a little bit. But yeah, so the Skadegamutces is the vampire witch
cryptid just
skeleton goes Skadegamutces. Yeah, but check out the resources in there, because they had the article that they wrote about like actual vampires in native folklore is really interesting, and like they go through a really cool analysis of it. They also recommend, I don't have this book, but they recommended a book that I absolutely want to buy, which I also have linked in our show notes here, which is When the Chenoo Howls, Native American Tales of Terror.
Yes.
Which sounds like my whole shit.
100%.
And it's also, and the stories are retold specifically by an Abenaki storyteller, so.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So I'm going to buy the hell out of that book.
Everyone should buy that. Give them money.
Yeah, I don't think it's in print anymore, unfortunately. I could only find used copies.
Maybe we can get a to reprint.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, so I'm definitely gonna buy that book, and I'm really excited about it. But so yeah, that's this story, the Skadegamutces, the skeleton vampire ghost witch. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good cryptids episode.
Not
the Lindworm
bad.
and the Skadegamutces.
The Skadegamutces.
I can't not say Skadegamutches like I'm like it sounds like an Italian insult.
It does. It's like you Skadegamutces.
Get over here, you fucking Skadegamutches.
Look who this fucking Skadegamutces. Long time no see. Eat some more bread and drink wine.
So I know that we've already adopted Story Babies as the name for the people who listen to this podcast.
We kind of have. We should bring that back.
Yeah, but I decided that you're all just a bunch of Skadegamutces.
You're Skadegamutches. What if that's one of those things where, like, you don't... There's a lot of things where they don't even want to talk about it because they think... Like, just people think that it, like, conjures up this particular evil thing. Like, people really don't like to talk about Wendigos and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, it's really, like, taboo for a lot of people. Honestly, like... Yeah. I have Navajo relatives and they don't seem to mind. But that being said, I've only ever been yelled at about it by white people. Okay.
That checks out.
But I'm not saying that that's not a thing. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of suspicious.
Yeah, so if we
But it's gonna make me laugh that we're just saying Skadegamutces over and over again, and there are people being like, damn it, I don't claim this!
So if this podcast ends because we were murdered and chomped on by a giant skeleton, then you'll know not to say that.
Hopefully they get Alex first. They seem to go for the men first, right?
Well, he was just asleep in the loft right next to the skeleton. I think it was a proximity and ease of access.
I stand by what I said. I hope they get Alex first. They'll keep him busy for a while.
Yeah, I also, this is really dumb, but in one of the stories there was a description of, like, the sound of this thing crunching on the husband, and it was like the sound of an owl eating a mouse. And I had to stop for a second because, again, I am an insufferable know-it-all, and I was like, actually, owls swallow mice whole and then cough up the bones, so you wouldn't hear a crunching sound.
Maybe they heard a coughing sound. I'm sure you loved hearing that on the podcast. Fantastic, Max.
Thanks.
We hope you guys have a happy and safe and spooky Halloween.
Yeah, and come join us on the Discord. And
we're going to start watching movies. We're going to figure out how to watch movies on that Discord. Genuinely, we're kind of amping up actually chatting with people. It's nice to chat with people specifically about the podcast. So go join us over there.
Come hang out.
Yeah. And email us with thoughts on this episode, with more information. Join the Discord if you want to suggest stories to us. I think that's an easier way to do it. Yeah, and follow us on all of our socials, and we'll put some pictures up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, a big shout out to Keith.
Yeah, thanks to Keith, our sound engineer, for, as always, doing an amazing job on this episode, probably.
Yeah.
Haven't heard it yet, because we're recording it right now, but I assume it's a good job.
I'm assuming it sounds great.
Keep it up, Keith.
I mean, you have pretty easy subjects to work with. So
we're precious. Keith loves us.
Yeah, Keith loves us. And may your hearts be as warm as Keith's glowing red eyes.
Oh, no.
Happy Halloween, you Skadegamutces. We have an announcement to make. The world has ended. I don't know why I started like that. You sounded very serious when you started yours. Let's start again.
Sorry if you were terrified by that announcement. The world has not ended, unless it has, in which case, why are you listening to a podcast? Go, I don't know, perish in the apocalypse or whatever you're supposed to be doing?
All Carnival cruise lines have caught fire.
Is that true?
No.
Oh.
Why are you so hopeful?
Well, not with people on them, but also cruise ships are a goddamn nightmare.
Would you ever go on a cruise with me?
I would go on, like, a 3-day cruise. I don't think I could do, like...
A 5-day cruise?
Even that's pushing it for me, because they're just...
Have you ever been on a cruise?
No.
I really liked my... I know
but
why
we did
people...
just watch Titanic.
We did, and it made me want to go on a cruise. I know why people are scared of cruises. I really liked the one cruise I went on. It was so lovely.
I just don't like the idea of being at sea, far away from everyone, trapped with the same people for a long time. Yeah, like, there's, like, disease, there's murderers.
This is true.
There's, like, food contamination. There's, like, you know, it's just, I just don't, I would rather be, like, in a nice hotel that has all the same amenities as a cruise and then just travel from the hotel out. I don't like being in the middle of the ocean and stuck with the same people.
This is very valid. And again, I get it. But, like, cruises nowadays are like floating cities. Like, they have entire malls that are, like, the size of regular malls and shit. And...
That's also my nightmare, though. I don't like malls.
I want to go on a cruise really badly. I don't know what it is. I think it was Titanic. I think it made me want to go on a cruise.
Here's what I want out of a cruise. It anchors in a harbor, and it just stays there. Also, the gangplank stays down the entire time so that you can get off at any time. And the only things it has in common with them all is that it has an Auntie Anne's. And that's the only food. And also, the whole cruise ship can only fit like 4 people. And it's me, the captain, someone in the engine room, and then like one friend. And we just have a sleepover.
With the captain?
Yeah.
And the guy that's down in the boiler room.
Look, I just
filling up
have
the
a
furnaces
boating...
like in Titanic. I want him on our cruise too. Never mind. That's a great idea. Never mind, you're a genius. Let's do it. Looking for a sweaty man in a tank top to go on a stationary cruise with us. Okay, let's just use that as a test because that was not an intro.
Anyways,